everybody. So glad you could join me for my virtual baking class again. So excited to see you here. I wish I could see you in person, but this will have to do for the time being. Remember to wash your hands before you get started. I am going to post a link to the classic no-bake cookies recipe that we're going to be doing today. Put that in the description of the YouTube video so you can see that as well. The tools that we're going to need today are a bowl for measuring out our oatmeal, the pan we're going to use to cook in on the stovetop. We're not going to be using the oven this time, but just the stovetop. You'll need a big serving spoon, size spoon to stir, a tablespoon for scooping out, a dry measuring cup, a liquid measuring cup, and a spatula will probably come in handy. And when we get done making our cookies, we're going to let them cool. You can use a big platter like this, or a cookie sheet like this, or if you happen to have some parchment paper, that will work great as well. Growing up, we didn't have parchment paper. I think we just used wax paper or a cookie sheet when we were letting it cool off. Okay, so for this recipe, you're going to need half a cup of butter cut into pieces. This is a stick of butter is a half of a cup. We're going to cut it into pieces. We need, so I do need a knife. Sorry about that. There we go. We need 2 cups of granulated sugar. Got that right here. A half a cup of milk. We're going to need some unsweetened cocoa powder. This is not like hot chocolate. This is cocoa powder that does not have sugar in it. It's not the same thing. Be careful that you get the right one. We're also going to use some peanut butter, and we need a teaspoon of vanilla extract and 3 cups of quick oats. I actually have some quick oats in this bag that we're going to use first before we start using that. So to get started, I just wanted to say this is kind of a shout out to my childhood. I made these all the time as a child. My mom had all of our favorite recipes put into a 3-ring binder and gave it to us as a Christmas present one year. I would encourage you to make a photocopy of this if you really like this recipe, and punch some holes into it and put it into a 3-ring binder and start creating your own favorite recipes cookbook that you can keep, so that when you get older you can do the recipes that you made when you were a child as well. So let's see. To get started, we are going to take our butter and we're going to cut it up into small pieces and put it into our pan. So we're just going to use the knife to cut it into slices like this. Just a regular table knife will do. You need to cut it this way as well to make them a little bit smaller. There we go. We can just dump those into the pan. There we go. Now we need sugar and milk and unsweetened cocoa powder. So sugar, it said 2 cups. We're going to scoop into here. I'm going to do this over my bowl, or over my pan, sorry, so I don't get sugar everywhere. I'm going to just kind of shake it. It's pretty even. I don't even need a knife to level it off. Scoop that again. There's my 2nd cup. Here we go. A half a cup of milk. So you got to be really careful with this. You can look for the half cup mark, and I can see it right here. I don't know if you can see that through the glass there or not. I'm going to put my finger behind it. And you want to set it level on your countertop. I'm going to use this to be able to see it more at eye level. And I'm going to pour in until the milk gets up to that half cup line. Half cup is a 1 and a slash and a 2. So look for that 1/2. It's the same thing as 4 ounces. I've got my half cup, so I'm going to pour that in there as well. And I need 1/4 of a cup of unsweetened cocoa powder. The nice thing about this particular measuring cup is that it has the measurements for a cup, 3/4 of a cup, a cup, 3/4 of a cup, a half cup, and 1/4 of a cup. So I can use that same measuring cup. If you want to have your own 1/4 measuring cup. You can take out this one. It might be a little bit easier to get the exact amount. I'm going to put that in there again. Scoop it in there. I'm just going to kind of shake it a little bit till that I have the right amount. That's pretty even with the top. I'm not too particular about it being exactly. Maybe I should be, but I'm just going to eyeball it on this one. Seconds ticking down. I'm going to measure my 3 cups of oatmeal real quickly into my bowl. And this is what it should look like. You're going to have some big chunks of butter in there. And they're going to melt down. You'll see them melting down here. But it's going to be a few minutes before it gets to a boiling stage. So if you want to pause your video, you can do that now too. I'm going to blend that all in. So it's getting closer to boiling, not quite there yet. I'm going to set that on top. Okay, so all my butter is melted and I've given it a good stir there, made sure that all the sugar is off the sides. So everything's nice and liquid. So we're just waiting for it to warm up enough for those bubbles to start rolling across the surface. Okay, I think I'm going to start my timer there. We have our 1/2 cup of peanut butter. I'm going to quick scoop that in there. Spin that around. The heat is going to make that peanut butter soften up and melt down to nothing in a 1/2 second there. We need a teaspoon. Oh, I have my tablespoon. I don't have my teaspoon. Oh my goodness. 1 teaspoon of vanilla going in. Stir that around. I'm going to stir in all 3 cups of that oatmeal. And it's going to be really loose when we get started, when we first start scooping out. And then it's going to get more and more stiff. You'll see what I mean as we go here. I'm going to take that big spoon that I had earlier, and we're going to scoop it out onto the parchment paper. It makes kind of cow pies. It's really loose right now. It's going to get drier and thicker as we go on, as that oatmeal starts absorbing the chocolate and peanut butter. Oops. You can make them as big or as small as you like. Let me get this out of here. As these cool off, they'll get more solid and not be so goosey-loosey like this. If you find that your cookies are a little bit soft and staying sticky, you can either roll them in coconut like I did, or just enjoy them as a gooey, sticky glob and lick your fingers afterwards and enjoy them like they are. They should come out a little bit more solid than that though. I'm not quite sure what happened. I did want to mention one thing since the last time that we cooked together, and that is, remember those spring onions that we used on our pizzas? I don't know if you can get a close-up of this here. They are starting to grow. I put them in a little pot of water, little cup of water, and you can see that little green sprout starting on a couple of those there. I also did the same thing with some celery. When I cut the celery off the bottom, you get these in the grocery store and the bottom looks like this. I cut them about 1.5 inches, 2 inches up from the bottom. And look at, I've got 2 of them that have already started in only like 4 or 5 days, have already started sprouting, and I'll be able to grow my own celery at my house with those leftovers. Instead of throwing them into my compost, I can start a garden. So, I hope you had a good time. I look forward to doing another recipe with you next week. Take care. Bye-bye.